Greetings, one and all. Welcome back to Whatever Happened To, the series where we take a where are they now look at players who found success in the National Hockey League but are no longer permanent fixtures in the league either due to controversy, poor play, or just rotten luck. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at a former first overall pick in the entry draft, as we ask, whatever happened to Rick DiPietro? After being drafted first overall by the New York Islanders during the 2000 NHL entry draft in Calgary, the highly touted DiPietro became just the fourth American-born player in NHL history to be drafted first overall. In fact, Islanders GM at the time, Mike Milbury, thought so highly of DiPietro's skill and potential that he traded away the Islanders' starting netminder at the time in order to leave the spot vacant for his new shiny draft pick. The goalie that was traded away was none other than future Hall of Famer Roberto Luongo. Not exactly the smartest trade ever made, but then again it was Mike Milbury, so what do you expect? But anyway, Rick DiPietro suffered a groin injury during his first training camp with the Islanders, so he started the 2000/01 season with the Chicago Wolves of the now defunct IHL. DiPietro was called up several times that season to the Islanders roster, but didn't make his NHL debut until January 27th, 2001 against the Buffalo Sabres. Whilst DiPietro would make his eagerly anticipated debut, he didn't exactly perform very well. The first overall pick posted a 3-15-1 record in 20 games with the Islanders, which included a 3.49 goals against average and a .878 save percentage as the Islanders struggled and ultimately missed out on a playoff spot for the 7th consecutive year. However, whilst his NHL career got off to a shaky start, DiPietro's best hockey was yet to come. Rick DiPietro would play 93 AHL games and 25 AHL playoff games with the Bridgeport Sound Tigers over the next two seasons, posting a 60, 43 and 15 record before he would return to the Islanders lineup during the 02-03 season. DiPietro suited up for 10 games for the Islanders, posting a 2-5-2 record as well as a 2.97 goals against average and a .894 save percentage. This rather disappointing contribution was surprisingly good enough to help the New York Islanders return to the playoffs. But DiPietro only played one game in relief as the Islanders were eliminated in the first round in 5 games by the Ottawa Senators. The 03-04 NHL season saw DiPietro finally take the reins as the Islanders' starting goaltender, as the former first overall pick played 50 games, posting a 23-18-5 record with a 2.36 goals against average and a .911 save percentage. DiPietro also played 5 playoff games, but posted just a single win as the Islanders were eliminated in 5 games in the first round by the Tampa Bay Lightning. The 04-05 NHL season was cancelled due to a lockout, so most NHL players signed with teams abroad to continue their playing career. However, my research shows that there is no evidence of Rick DiPietro signing with another team abroad or even playing a single minute of a hockey game for the entirety of that season. I guess Rick DiPietro decided to use the spare time he had to train and make sure he was ready for when the NHL resumed. The 05-06 season saw the NHL resume and DiPietro back as the Islanders' starting goaltender on a 1-year contract after his entry-level contract had ended. DiPietro posted a 30-24-5 record with a 3.02 goals against average and a .9 save percentage in 63 games with the team. Whilst he would achieve his first 30-win season and begin to reach the potential he had as a former first overall pick, the Islanders missed out on playoff hockey. However, DiPietro also played for Team USA at the 2006 Winter Olympics in Turin, Italy. Even though he played well in the tournament and recorded a 2.28 goals against average, DiPietro went 1-3 during the tournament as Team USA were eliminated in the group stages. Then, on September 12, 2006, a month before the start of the new season, Rick DiPietro shocked the NHL world when he signed a 15-year, $67.5 million contract with the New York Islanders, the longest contract under the 2005 NHL collective bargaining agreement. Although DiPietro had just signed the contract of his career that would likely set him up financially for the rest of his life, this record-breaking contract would signal the end of DiPietro's career in the NHL. The 06-07 NHL season saw the freshly signed DiPietro prove the Islanders right, as he posted the best numbers of his career. DiPietro had a 32-19-9 record, a 2.58 goals against average, and a .919 save percentage in 63 games, as well as a 1-3 record, a 3.30 goals against average, and a .898 save percentage in 4 playoff games, as the Islanders were eliminated in 5 games in the first round of the playoffs by the Buffalo Sabres. However, whilst he would have the best statistical year of his career, DiPietro suffered 2 different concussions that season, as well as off-season surgery to fix a broken labrum in his hip. These events began a string of injury-riddled seasons for DiPietro that would ultimately end his career before his contract was complete. The 07-08 NHL season saw a noticeable dip in DiPietro's numbers, as the Islanders goaltender notched a 26, 28 and 7 record, a 2.82 goals against average, and a .902 save percentage. This downturn in production didn't seem to cause too much trouble though, as it was announced that DiPietro would take part in his first and only NHL All-Stars game. Originally as a reserve, DiPietro got the chance to play after Devils goaltender and Hall of Famer Martin Brodeur dropped out. However, DiPietro injured his hip during the shootout competition, but chose to suck it up and play in the All-Stars game, and afterwards continued to play for the Islanders until they were out of playoff contention. When that time came on March 19th of that year, it was announced that DiPietro would miss the remainder of the season due to hip surgery. The 08-09 season saw DiPietro coming off an off-season knee surgery on the meniscus of his left knee. DiPietro sat out the first 4 games of the season before suiting up and taking the Islanders' crease once again. After playing the next 3 games for the Islanders, it was announced that DiPietro would be placed on the team's injured reserve list after undergoing another knee surgery on his meniscus. Whilst he would return to the lineup in late December and play 2 more games for the Islanders, on January 20th, 2009, it was announced that DiPietro would miss the remainder of the season due to post-arthroscopic surgical swelling in his right knee, meaning DiPietro played a total of 5 games that season, posting a 1-3-0 record, a 3.52 goals against average, and a .892 save percentage. The 9-10 season saw DiPietro still feeling the effects of his many injuries, especially problems with his knee, as he only played 12 games that season, split between the New York Islanders and the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. To add to the upset, DiPietro posted an awful 3-7-0 record combined between the 2 teams. Only 3 seasons removed from a 30-win season, DiPietro was watching his career in the NHL slip through his fingers. The 10-11 season had a seemingly healthy DiPietro return to the lineup and man the crease in tandem with goaltender Dwayne Rollerson. After a brief stint on the injured reserve due to knee swelling, DiPietro served as the Islanders' starting goaltender after the team traded Dwayne Rollerson to the Tampa Bay Lightning on New Year's Eve. However, on February 2nd, 2011, DiPietro had his jaw broken in a goaltender fight against Pittsburgh Penguins netminder Brent Johnson in the final seconds of the game. Guy just doesn't have any luck, does he? After staying off the ice for weeks, DiPietro recovered and manned the Islanders' crease to finish the season. Unfortunately, this didn't really help the Islanders' playoff hopes, as DiPietro finished the year with an 8-14-4 record, a 3.44 goals against average, and a .866 save percentage. The 11-12 season saw DiPietro lose his role as the Islanders' starting goaltender and be demoted to backup goalie due to the strong play of goaltender Al Montoya. This was proven to be the right call by the New York Islanders, as DiPietro was injured with a concussion during practice for the 3rd game of the season after he took a hard shot to his mask. DiPietro returned to the lineup in late October, but less than a month later he was put on the injured reserve once again, this time due to a groin injury and surgery to repair a hernia, which sidelined him for the remainder of the season. DiPietro finished the year with a 3-2-3 record, a 3.73 goals against average, and a .875 save percentage in 8 games. The 12-13 season was shortened due to another lockout, so the struggling DiPietro decided to take his talents overseas, unlike the last lockout, as he suited up for SC Rieseri of the German League 2. Not exactly a league that most NHL players would have chosen during the lockout, but I'm sure that Rick DiPietro didn't really have many options considering his last few seasons in the NHL. DiPietro played and lost one game for the German side before the NHL season resumed and he returned to the Islanders. Whilst he would return to the New York Islanders, the stay would be short-lived, as DiPietro played and lost 3 straight games, prompting the Islanders to waive DiPietro and send him down to the Bridgeport Sound Tigers of the AHL. Even though he had 8 years remaining on his 15-year contract, DiPietro suited up for Bridgeport and finished the season with a 9-9-0 record, a 2.93 goals against average, and a .893 save percentage in 18 games. Then, on July 1st, 2013, it was announced that DiPietro would be placed on unconditional waivers with the intent of having the remainder of his contract bought out, bringing an end to the former first overall pick's NHL career. With 7 years still remaining on his mega contract, Rick DiPietro's playing career was swiftly coming to an end. Whilst he had just been bought out, DiPietro felt he wasn't done playing and he still had something left to give any team that would sign him. On October 26, 2013, DiPietro signed a professional tryout contract with the Charlotte Checkers of the AHL, the Carolina Hurricanes AHL affiliate team. However, after playing 5 games for the team and losing every single one of them, the Checkers released DiPietro from his contract on November 26th of that year. Shortly after, DiPietro announced his retirement from playing professional hockey. After his retirement, Rick DiPietro took a step back from hockey and has instead turned his attention to radio hosting. DiPietro co-hosts the New York sports show, The Humpty and Canty Show, with Chris Canty and Dave Rothenberg on ESPN 98.7 FM, where he continues to work until this day. But even though his career didn't end the way anybody would have wanted, after 10 seasons in the NHL, DiPietro finished his career with a respectable 130 wins, 136 losses, and 36 overtime or shootout losses, a 2.87 career goals against average, and a .902 career save percentage. The interesting yet unfortunate thing about DiPietro's career is that he will always be left with what-if scenarios that will never be answered. What if DiPietro never signed the 15-year contract and instead went for something more modest? Would he have been more likely to find work with other NHL teams as a more affordable product? What if he didn't receive 1, 2, or all of the injuries he took? Would his playing time or career statistics have been different? Would DiPietro have played in the NHL longer and had more success, or would something just as bad, if not worse, had happened to him? Whilst these alternate realities are incredibly interesting to think about, one thing's for sure. The first overall pick of the 2000 entry draft may have had many bumps during his career, but he did also have some great success too, and broke a few Islanders records along the way. Plus, he's now got himself a pretty sweet gig on radio, so I think he'll be alright. And there you go! That's what happened to Rick DiPietro. What do you think about DiPietro's career? Was it good, bad, or do you wish that he was still in the NHL on his monster 15-year contract? I sure don't. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!